What is up, people of the internet? Ninja Nick back with another round of this League Cup in Poughkeepsie, New York at Champion Gaming. We have myself on the left again with the Inteleon VMAX, Urshifu VMAX, Rapid Strike deck. And we have Chris Saikala here on the right is playing Lost Box. I was warned going into this that he was playing Kyogre, and Kyogre is very scary for my deck. He could always just attack with Greninja and then attack with the Kyogre immediately after that and knock out 2 VMAXs on my bench. So I guess I did not go far enough. So speed that up a little bit. Flip my Pokemon over. It is the Inteleon V I start with. We are going to double battle VIP pass. The last time I played Chris it was at a 5-round best of 3 sweaty league challenge, I'll tell you. Sweaty for multiple reasons. A lot of good players, but also it was hot in there. He was playing Choice Belt, so he was able to Drapion one-shot my Inteleon on like his second turn of the game or something, which pretty much cost me game 1, and then game 2 I just like super ultra bricked. So it was rough, and I was very upset. That's the first time I had ever lost to Lost Box, like at all, like online, real life, just period. I tied it at NAIC because I threw game 2 and there wasn't enough time for game 3. But I always feel very comfortable going into the Lost Box matchup, but I do know if there's one person who can beat me in an extremely unfavored matchup for them, it's going to be Chris. So I am not taking this lightly, and I am making sure that every single play I make is the correct one. My head is probably more in the game during this match than it has been in a long time. So I do get double Remoraid, knowing that my opponent could always go Cramorant knockout after an escape rope. I wouldn't mind putting 1 Remoraid up, but I need to make sure there's 2 in play so that maybe on turn 2 I can double evolve into Octillery and make it so it's pretty much impossible to get rid of Octillery. They could always go Sableye at some point to knock out an Octillery in one shot right on your bench. But it looks like Chris does brick, is forced to just escape rope and pass, use the concealed cards. He hard attaches a water energy to the Greninja because he really does not have anything going on. I, of course, play research, and I draw a whole bunch of cards. Not too much going on for me either, unfortunately. This is a really sad hand from me. I would have really liked to have a Rapid Strike energy here, because that would allow me to knock out the Sableye here, allowing Chris to only have the Greninja left in play, and force him to just have something this next turn. So I'm going to play the Heavy Ball just to check my prize cards. I pull out my little etchy-sketchy pad, as I like to call it. I'm writing down my prize cards. I don't usually take too many notes on my prize cards unless I'm specifically playing Heavy Ball. I just make sure, like, I'll check my prizes every turn of every game. I don't, like, take a long turn 1 or anything. So I write down what all my prize cards are, and the fact that I replaced one of them with the Heavy Ball. And I do grab the Inteleon, the Urshifu V off the prize cards, in case maybe my opponent like Iono's me, or I Iono myself on the next turn. I can just put that back into the deck, and it might be relevant having 2 Urshifu V Max during this. So I'm going to use the ability of the Inteleon V Max, mostly just to make it so that if I do draw Melanie on this next turn, that I can play it. I do also attach to the Urshifu V. There's no point in attaching to the Inteleon V Max because I can't attack with 1 single energy. So I do just attach it to the Urshifu in case I do draw what I now call Squiggly Energy, the Rapid Strike Energy card. I could always Rapid Flow for game on the next turn should I draw hot enough off of my own Iono I have in hand here. All I would need would be the Rapid Strike energy along with the Urshifu VMAX. I could also draw into Octillery or Ultra Ball in order to get there as well. So I would just need 1 in combination of like any of those cards, or 2 in combination of any of those cards. But we do see Chris is now able to get a Manaphy out as well as a Comfey, so that tells me that I am not winning the game on this next turn. We will be playing a little bit longer, so now I'm going to have to find a way through the Manaphy. Makes me feel like I shouldn't have used the double gunner on the previous turn just to do the 20 to the Greninja, but again, it did set up the rapid flow play and the fact that I could top deck into Melanie, so I think that it was still worth it, even though I'm not getting too much value out of it anymore now that the Manaphy is in play. So Chris is going for Flower selected. He's trying to choose between these two cards here. He's going to get rid of the Forest Sealstone, likely because he does not have a V Pokemon in hand. He's also going to get rid of my tower. This is really bad for me. I only play 3 towers. It's usually all that I need, but him just getting rid of them early really hurts. It's why I didn't want to play it on the last turn, but I was playing Research, so I had to put it in play in case my opponent did not, did not Field Blower it, or not Field Blower, Lost Vacuum, Jesus. So Iono, Chris's still pretty dead hand goes to the bottom of the deck. I don't want to be doing this, but of course at this point I really need to be attacking, so I need to find Rapid Strike Energy, and I do. I find the Octillery off of this Iono, so, and also an Ultra Ball too. So I'm just trying to piece together exactly how I want to do this. I have an Ultra Ball in hand, but I also have a Medicham V, and I'm considering discarding the Medicham V. And honestly, the Medicham is so good against a Lost Box matchup. It can just win you the game with Yoga Loop being able to allow you to have 2 turns in a row. So I'm really considering on whether or not I want to play it and what I'm going to discard. So this is weird. So I'm thinking about, again, discarding the Medicham, but I really don't want to because of how good it is in the matchup. So I discard both of the supporters that are in my hand because that's honestly a better play. And it just hurts because I can't play another supporter this turn, and I still need to search out the Rapid Strike Energy, and I can't attack unless I get either the Tower of Waters or an Inteleon VMAX for my active. So I do play the Ultra Ball because I have to, but in hindsight, I do think that discarding the Medicham was correct, and keeping the Irida or the Melanie would have been fine. I think I should have definitely kept one of those two. Because, again, there is a Water Energy in the discard pile, so I can use Melanie. But there is also the fact that I could always get, like, Energy Retrieval off of Irida, or, like, Ultra Ball. Say when my Pokemon goes knocked out, I can always grab the Ultra Ball to grab a Luminion for, like, a future turn. It's always pretty good. And I do use the G-Max Spiral for 140, returning the energy to my hand. And I'm just hoping that I draw a supporter off my prize cards. And, I don't remember if I did. I have Rapid Strike Energy. I have the Medicham. I can't tell what the other cards are in my... Oh, I think I got Urshifu VMAX off my prize cards. I do think there was at least an Irida in my prize cards. I don't remember exactly how many supporters were in there. But we do see Chris gets down the Raikou V. So there is the potential he could attack with that this turn. That would be really scary for me. If he attacks with the Raikou V, he can one-shot my Inteleon VMAX. It will be doing 220 if he has a full bench, which he most likely will. Along with weakness will hit me for 440, which is a big number. Even without benching another Pokemon, it's currently 400 damage, so way more than enough that is needed to take the knockout. And that also puts me at 1 less potential Inteleon VMAX, 1 less potential Double Gunner every turn, and it would be really great for me to be able to knock out the Manaphy using the Double Gunners in combination with that Medicham, so I don't really want this Inteleon VMAX going down. I would rather it be the Remoraid this turn. We're going to see the Switch Cart is getting rid of 20 damage off of the Comfey, because I did use 1 Double Gunner on that previous turn. It went to the Comfey and the Manaphy. It is unfortunately all I can muster. I did put it on the Comfey knowing that it would most likely get Switch Carted off, but I want to force my opponent into using those Switch Carts earlier, and make sure that they're not being used on the Manaphy as well. So even though I don't want him healing off the Comfey, it's still fine as long as he's not healing off the Manaphy. Alright, so we do go for a Mirage Gate, and at this point I am nearly wetting my pants because I am very much afraid of Raikou in this matchup. What I'm going to have to do on this next turn is Yoga Loop in order to be able to knock out the Manaphy, and then Rapid Flow the active and maybe the benched Greninja. Would probably be the best play, but we'll have to see what my hand is looking like, because again, I did discard 2 supporters on this previous turn. Chris is using Powpad to put double Chorus's Experiment back into his deck. That's one of his favorite plays with the deck. It seems like he's always putting double Chorus back in with the Powpad. And it's really strong because that means you can play Chorus like every turn of the game, help you get up to that 10 really easily. And here it goes, the Lightning, was it Lightning Rondo is what it's called? Knocks out my Inteleon VMAX, and now I'm in a bit of a pickle because my opponent has taken a very easy 3 prize cards, is ahead by 2 now, and I am scared. I'm literally frozen. So I do promote my Octillery because I know that I want to get rid of that Pokestop, so I'm going to be getting the Tower of Waters no matter what. I do have the Medicham. I'm going to use the Pokestop here. I mill an Iono, which isn't the best, but I also mill a Nest Ball as well as the Energy Retrieval. So Energy Retrieval is actually huge here. That was the perfect card to mill for the Pokestop. That does allow me to use double Inteleon VMAX this turn potentially. So I'm trying to piece together exactly how I can pull off maybe a Yoga Loop play. I do know that at this point I'm going to have to get the Tower of Waters with the Octillery. And if I'm not quite there, I'm using the Nest Ball to just search my deck at the very least. I'm considering using the Alakazam. I could also use double Gunner along with the Alakazam to take out the Manaphy as well. And then I would still be able to attack with the Urshifu. But again, I do need the Stadium in order to retreat. Either that or the Escape Rope. But I don't want to play Escape Rope because I want the Raikou to stay in the active. So I'll be honest, I don't even remember what I went for right here. But I know it was okay. It was at least an okay play. So I do get the Alakazam. Of course, because I went for double Remoraid turn 1 to protect myself from Chris being able to knock out both Remoraids with the Greninja or knocking out a Remoraid with a Cramorant. It's now clogging my bench. So very unfortunate for me. So I do go and I grab the Stadium. I've gotten the use out of the Pokestop. I'm going to get rid of it now. So now we are down. I think this might be my last tower. Did I discard another one with the research? No, I think I still have 1 tower left. I think it's in my prize cards, though, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I prized it. But I'm going to play the energy retrieval here? Yeah, so I want to Yoga Loop, but I just don't have the bench space to do it. I could if I had the Remoraid not on my bench. So, in hindsight, definitely discarding the Medicham earlier would have been the more correct choice. So, gonna spread that love of the damage counters to the Comfey and the Manaphy. With my first Inteleon VMAX. I'm also short another Inteleon VMAX here as well. Otherwise, I would be able to use this as well. So, oh, I remember what I do now. So we're going to move the damage off of the Comfey to the Manaphy in case it gets switch carded. Having 3 damage counters remaining on the Manaphy is going to be still a very good number. I'm going to attach for turn to the Urshifu VMAX, retreat into it, and use Gale Thrust for 300 to take the knockout and going even on prize cards. Now that the Raikou is down, Chris needs to Super Rod it back into the deck, re-find it, and then Mirage Gate to it again, while also playing Boss's Orders to bring up the Inteleon. And that could win him the game. And I have seen Chris draw exactly that kind of thing before playing against him. We do see yet another Pokestop. And I don't remember, did I take the Tower Waters off my... I think I did take the Tower Waters off my prize cards. No, I didn't. No, it's not in my hand. So I'm pretty sure there's still a Tower of Waters in my prize cards. Unless I'm misremembering again. But we are going to use the Chorus's Experiment here from Chris's side. So no boss's orders. That makes me feel very, very confident right now that I can still pull this game out. Because all I need to do is use one more double gunner to knock out the Manaphy, and then I can G-Max Rapid Flow, and then I have the last 3 prize cards all taken. So what Chris is doing here, you see he's at 2 cards remaining in his deck. He is going for the Kyogre play. Now, one of his water energies is in... so he has 1 water energy in the prize cards right now. It's very important to note. He did tell me that after this match. So he plays Escape Rope, and I make a huge misplay here. I know he's going for the Kyogre because his deck is so small, and I promote the Remoraid, completely forgetting that that gives Chris the win. And I think I realized it like right here. So if Chris does manage to pull off the Kyogre, like see he puts all the energy down off to the side there out of his discard pile because he's choosing what he wants to Super Rod back. So he has access to 1 water energy. 1 is in his prize cards, and 2 of them are on his Greninja. Because he was bricking earlier, he hard attached twice to the Greninja. So he now has 1 of those energies locked to his Greninja. He needs to find a way to switch into the Greninja in order to hard retreat it into the Kyogre in order to get the 2 water energy he needs in order to piece together this knockout. And if he had a way to piece this together, he would win because he would knock out the Inteleon V on my bench along with either the Octillery or the Alakazam to take his last 3 prize cards. Off of this Escape Rope that Chris played, I should have put up the Inteleon V because then Kyogre would not have been able to take the knockout because it only does damage to bench Pokemon, right? I'm correct, right? Yeah, bench Pokemon. Yeah, it only does damage to bench Pokemon. So had I put the Inteleon V active, then I would have not had 3 prizes available for Chris to take off of the maximum 250 that the Kyogre could do. So you're going to see Chris trying his best for multiple minutes to try to piece this win together, but eventually he just accepts the fact that he can't piece together the Kyogre because those 2 water energies are locked to Greninja, because the 1 is in the prize cards. He can't do it. So even though I did royally misplay there and noticed it, you know, within like 20 seconds of doing it, you know, I couldn't take it back. Oh, here he goes. He goes for the fist bump. So yeah, he's like, there's my water energy. He couldn't do it. So I did almost throw that match. But I did play it very well until that point. Yeah, so there I go. I say, I should have just done this, and then you wouldn't have had the game anyway. Because I have the water energy that I need in hand to go for the knockout on the Manaphy with the double gunner, and then I could just promote G-Max Rapid Flow. You know, I think I still had the 1 tower. Even if I didn't have the 1 Tower of Waters in deck, I still had the energy in hand to retreat. I had the double... I had the Rapid Strike energy, so I could have retreated my Inteleon VMAX. So, really great game. Surprisingly close, even though those first couple turns from Chris were pretty mediocre. I think had he just drawn as hot as he did in the later turns, the first couple of turns, those water energies wouldn't have been locked to Greninja, and he could have won the game for sure. But as always, guys, do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys in the next round. So I'm 3-0 at this point. The next round, I do go against our friend Nate, and we do ID, and I play against a deck that he's not actually playing in the tournament. So it's kind of... because nobody else wanted to go on stream, on camera. I said, Alan, do you want to use your Arceus deck against Tinglu on camera? And he yells, no! And a bunch of other tables said no as well. So it's I'm not going to force anybody to be on camera if they don't want to. So yeah, so we'll see you guys next time.